government guaranteed securities, and that actually increases the money supply. We also print actual currency, and we distribute that through the Federal Reserve Bank.
Simply flooded the system with money.
Yes, we did. That's another way to think about it. We did.
Where does it come from? Do you just print it?
We print it digitally, so we, as a central bank, we have the ability to create money digitally, and we do that by buying treasury bills or bonds or other government guaranteed securities, and that actually increases the money supply. We also print actual currency, and we distribute that through the Federal Reserve Bank.
Simply flooded the system with money.
Yes, we did. That's another way to think about it. We did.
Where does it come from? Do you just print it?
We print it digitally, so we, as a central bank, we have the ability to create money digitally, and we do that by buying treasury bills or bonds or other government guaranteed securities, and that actually increases the money supply. We also print actual currency, and we distribute that through the Federal Reserve Bank.
Simply flooded the system with money.
Yes, we did. That's another way to think about it. We did.
Where does it come from? Do you just print it?
We print it digitally, so we, as a central bank, we have the ability to create money digitally, and we do that by buying treasury bills or bonds or other government guaranteed securities, and that actually increases the money supply. We also print actual currency, and we distribute that through the Federal Reserve Bank.
Simply flooded the system with money.
Yes, we did. That's another way to think about it. We did.
Where does it come from? Do you just print it?
We print it digitally, so we, as a central bank, we have the ability to create money digitally, and we do that by buying treasury bills or bonds or other government guaranteed securities, and that actually increases the money supply. We also print actual currency, and we distribute that through the Federal Reserve Bank.
Simply flooded the system with money.
Yes, we did. That's another way to think about it. We did.
Where does it come from? Do you just print it?
We print it digitally, so we, as a central bank, we have the ability to create money digitally, and we do that by buying treasury bills or bonds or other government guaranteed securities, and that actually increases the money supply. We also print actual currency, and we distribute that through the Federal Reserve Bank.
Simply flooded the system with money.
Yes, we did. That's another way to think about it. We did.
Where does it come from? Do you just print it?
All right, welcome everyone. Let's go. Okay. Hope you guys like the intro. I hope you recognize the music too. I've been super bullish on Dreamcast era music, and also just like going back into the early 2000s, like late 90s era of music, gaming, aesthetic, and it feels good. And I think we've probably, a lot of us have been doing that because we really need to make ourselves feel better about being in crypto right now. Basically, if you saw the thumbnail and the title, it is, the last standing crypto bulls. And so if you are one of those people, congratulations, because it's been tough. It hasn't been easy to be in crypto right now. We have gold breaking all-time highs, silver breaking all-time highs. We have the S&P 500 breaking all-time highs, my friends. And it's just, to be in crypto, or to say that you were all in crypto, meant that you were all into a mental institution, and something was seriously wrong with you. But all jokes aside, I think going into this next year, we can go with a lot of lessons learned, and we can kind of curve our expectations a little bit and maybe have a better plan in hedging, and also into preserving what we want to do is preserve our wealth. We want to preserve and make sure we're not losing our money. We know that with inflation, and with that video, the intro of the video, the feds, that's what they do. They print the money supply, and they increase the money supply. They can digitally print it. They can physically print it. And we can't keep track of how much money is actually going out, especially the taxpayer money. And this is what has happened with the big fraud with Minnesota. There's been massive fraud being uncovered with these daycare centers, but not just daycare centers. It's healthcare centers. It's daycare centers. It's food banks or food organizations. Whatever it is that is being funded by taxpayer money is being exploited. And this is, I think, going to push us into a catalyst of why stable coins, the Genius Act, all the banks getting bullish on crypto, using crypto rails, is because we're going to eventually, hopefully, get government transactions, federal transactions, taxes going on the blockchain, because that's fair. I think we should know that if we're taking money out of our paychecks and it's being distributed in places that is obvious fraud, then people should be held accountable, and we should have a different system for our taxes to be ran through. So this is what's happening right now. And so I think the independent journalism is necessary, because obviously, even though this is obvious fraud is happening, the mainstream media is attacking Nick Shirley and saying that, what does he have the right to go and do this journalism? Where's his license? Which is hilarious. It totally proves the point that these entities are so decentralized, and when anything hits that's decentralized, which is us, we as a people are decentralized, because if we can vote, we can actually post things online and actually just post a video. And hopefully, if it's not AI generated, we can usually tell now. It's like, even though AI has gotten really good, we can still tell when it's AI slop. But when just people are going out and doing investigations like this, like Nick Shirley, and then having help with the guy, I can't remember, is it Greg or Frank? You know, the guy that had been investigating this for the past 8 or 10 years or so. He had been documenting cases of these fraudulent daycare and healthcare centers, specifically in Minnesota. So, but the mainstream media never covered it. The mainstream media never covered it a single time, but it's been happening since 2015. So the fact that the mainstream media, which is paid and bought by two big giant entities, can't remember the names of them, but basically it's who controls the media narrative and the media machine, obviously are not going to run fraud investigations and news pieces on the very thing that is funding the thing. So this is why you're going to see a counter attack and narrative against Nick Shirley or anyone trying to uncover fraud, and then, quote, deem them racist or say that, hey, you're just trying to oust a whole entire community of people, but it's just fraud is fraud. Who's ever committing it doesn't matter. Taxpayer dollars are going into the billions of dollars into literally a fire pit, and we don't know where it's going. So we should be outraged by it. Crypto is the catalyst, my friends, to get this on chain. And then when you start diving in, you realize that you can also have private transactions on crypto as well. And this is what people are building currently right now in the underbelly of this crypto revolution that's going to happen, where everything's going on chain, which means that you can see everything. That's great. But then also you don't really want everyone seeing every single thing that you're doing in terms of transactions on your own personal level. But when it comes to the government and your taxes all being pulled together to, quote, build the country or build programs and all these things in your state and all this stuff, and you realize that it's not even being used, and you see that we have a problem with homelessness, drug addiction, food shortage, or, you know, just like people not being able to get like the food that they need, like the water. God, Flint, Michigan had that water issue for so long, but wait, we've been sending billions of dollars of taxpayer money into all these slush fund organizations. There's a massive systemic problem in all fronts of how we're running the country. Doge, Department of Government Efficiency, revealed this, and this is what I think we should be standing and fighting for, is some transparency with our freaking money, my friends. So let's hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, ding the bell, all that stuff. We are streaming on all platforms. Here's the deal. Yesterday, we just came off the stream feeling really negative and disappointed. I was looking at the stats. I was looking at how everything has been going, and I just looked like this. I looked like Lieutenant Dan in the scene of the New Year's Eve where they're in New York in Times Square, and he's at the bar and everyone's celebrating around him, and he's sitting in the and there's like confetti falling over his face. That's literally how I felt yesterday. Was like Lieutenant Dan with no legs. He got no legs, Lieutenant Dan. And so I was Lieutenant Dano. But if you remember the scene, you know, at the end of Forrest Gump, you know, Lieutenant Dan ended up getting his legs. Okay, he ended up getting a lot of medals of honor and got his legs and was an upstanding right guy, you know. So it's pretty crazy. So what I think we're going through right now, and what I came to realize, is that everything is bad right now. It's just bad. Everything just does not look good in terms of crypto, in terms of like streamers, content creators. Right now, it's the bear market for this stuff. There's no interest like there was in the time of 2020 and 2021. And I was explaining this to my wife. I said, you know, I think I just came to realize that we just don't have the same interest and urgency as we did when we were coming off of COVID. You know, COVID, half the people weren't working. They were still trying to figure out a job. They were either laid off or furloughed, or they were still getting stimulus checks. Like we were getting stimulus checks. I think we got 3 rounds of them. So we were in a different type of reality in the way that our life was operating back then. We were still trying to pick up the pieces. And I think people had just more time to focus on the Doge run, the GME, the Wall Street bets, just like all of that stuff was more on the focus for people. Okay. So now, completely different focus. I mean, it's a completely different mindset from the people of the same age range who were 20 something during COVID, and then fast forward, it's like there's just a completely different mindset, and you can feel it. And obviously, if you are had been coming here and watching the timeline, seeing the ebbs and flows, and I represented honestly in the meme coins. You know, the meme coin charts will really show you the different levels of euphoria from 2023 out of COVID coming back into the market. Because that's what pulled some of the interest back in, was like the meme coins, and then the launch pads, and then, you know, just keep going down the list. And there was all these different things that brought more interest and attention back into crypto. So I just kind of, I reacted yesterday in emotion and was like blaming YouTube, like it's YouTube's fault. They're shadow banning me, or it's like, you know, no one's, you know, but it's not anyone's fault. No, it's no one's fault. It's just bad right now. It's just bad. And I was taking it personally and being emotional, and not really just chalking it up to people are just not here. It's not that they don't freaking like me. It has nothing to do with me. And that's what sometimes when you can get a little short-sighted, you start making it personal. You start making it about you. And it's not about me. It's about the community. It's not about me. I show up every day because I want you guys to not lose hope. Not me. It does help me to show up every day, and it helps me to not lose hope. When I do these live streams, I make the thumbnails. I come here, I pull, you know, we're talking about certain topics, and, you know, whatever's popping right now in crypto, or just in news in general, whatever's happening in the culture that relates to crypto. And I show up because I don't want you guys to quit. I want you guys to come and open YouTube and be like, okay, Dano's still here. Let's chat. Let's join the dojo crew and build this community. That's what matters. I think that's what matters, is showing up for you guys. And so that's all that matters. So it doesn't matter where I'm streaming, when I'm streaming, or to what platform. I just need to just continue to get to work and get better, and know that I'm not going to always love what I do. Like, you're not, the things that you build as a career and what you make money on, you're not always going to love doing it. That is false and a fallacy, and has always been the trick, a mind's trick, to not go towards your dream and hard work, and understand that you're going to have cycles where it's going to be tough, it's going to be hard, and you're going to look like this picture. You're not always going to be smiling and have just a good go at it. It's going to hurt. It's going to be painful. You know, it's just like, I attribute it to like skateboarding. Like I can skate really well. I've skated my entire life. I think I've been skating better now than I've ever had my whole life. But you know what? It hurts. When sometimes I'm trying to do these tricks, the other day, I bashed my ankle on a steel rail. It hurt really bad. But you know what? I didn't freaking quit. I didn't go, I kept doing the damn trick until I landed it. And when I landed it, it gave me such a sense of accomplishment, and nothing else mattered at that moment. So this is how we have to go in life with our stuff, and also with crypto. It's going to hurt. These investments in this new technology and this new emerging thing right now is very volatile, and it's going to hurt. But I want us to land this. I want us to land this damn crypto kickflip, all right? I want us to land this crypto kickflip. I think it can be done. But yeah, so like, you know, I was just focusing way too much on like, oh, how many people are watching on YouTube? How many people? Who cares? Just get to work. Who cares? Who cares? Stop complaining. So I flipped the attitude, and I just want you guys to be a part of the community. I don't care where you're watching. I shout out to all the people that are watching on YouTube. Shout out to people who watch on Rumble. I'm streaming on Kick, Twitch, X. You're watching on X. Shout out to everyone who's watching. I updated all my platforms. I want to make sure everything looks good. You know, that's what I need to be focusing on, not complaining. When I see Charles Hoskinson complaining constantly, I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, I don't want to be like Charles, even though he is building stuff at least. Guys, if he was just complaining, he just still had Cardano and no one's using it, he'd be in trouble. But at least he's working on midnight. But yeah, I don't want to be like that. I got to get to work. So this is my better attitude today is, look, 2026 is not the year to sit on the sidelines, and neither it is for me, for my brand and my channel. I said it's the year for builders, traders, and real ones that are going to stick around and lock in. Okay? So I've been saying this. I'm done playing small. I don't want to play small. I want to continue to build. I don't want to fight the algorithms. I'm just going to be building and waving with it. And I think building the community and the conviction and the culture and showing up with consistency, I think, is key, because I think people are going to come back. I know it's bad right now. You probably feel it too. You're like, wow, people care way more about sports betting and prediction markets and all those things. Like, that has obviously taken a big portion of market share. It's funny, my wife is smart. She actually has a good head on the market. She was like, what happened with the Voyager and the FTX thing? She was like, oh, people probably just never came back from that. And I was like, exactly. I was like, yeah. I was like, it was even from there. I was like, if you survived from 2020, like out of 2022, and you're still here, there might be something off. There might be something a little off. you know. But yeah, my wife said she was like, you know, those people probably were like, and now they're just trying to like survive and just trying to figure it out, just trying to work, you know. So yeah, I can't complain. I gotta know that that's the reality. This is the reality we're in right now. We have to just battle through it. Okay, so the main, like the thing that everyone's talking about right now is the fraud with Minnesota. Okay, so that's the big, like, there's nothing more interesting right now to talk about than daycares in the United States. There's memes going around like crazy of like, why didn't I freaking set up a daycare instead? Like, I've been working 9 to 5. Why haven't I been setting up a Somali daycare center? I guess be getting funded $1 million a year. What have we been doing? But there's been some funny memes. I mean, the memes have just been out of control.
What are you doing?
Nothing. Me? Just hanging around.
Me? Oh, Beetlejuice. Oh my gosh. But yeah. That is literally what's been happening. So the people now, there's been other independent investigative journalism that's been happening where people are now going to these centers that they're trying to find that are listed and registered, and they're knocking on the doors, and there's just a couple dudes or a random woman, like, and they're just like smoking a cig, and there's no kids to be found, but these places are there. And so this particular one is the one that is like has gotten the most press, is the Quality Luring Center because of the misspelling. That was the one hilarious thing about this one, is that this had spell error, so no spell check, and the parking lot, according to people who live around in that area, they never saw any kids. They never saw anyone in the parking lot. This particular place had 95 different violations. And so I just think to myself, if you're like a person who works in government and you're part of like the clerk of courts, you're part of the person who like does all the records and stuff like that, how would you let a place stay open after 95 different violations, especially if you're a child care place? You're a daycare, so you're supposed to be like up to par. You're supposed to have everything in code, all the safety like guidelines met and all that. You'd be checked on constantly, you know, because you have kids. Dude, none of that was happening. So it just shows that there's some obvious criminal, fraud happening in probably a web of things. And so this is how they do it. The way that they obfuscate this, guys, is they get a bunch of immigrant people to run the thing. It's not, you never say, and then they'll connect them with all these weird people. And you're just like, how do you even track it down? Because then what they do now, the media is painting a narrative that if you say that a place that is owned by anyone who is not white or a different color, you're racist. And you're just trying to point, and you're xenophobe or whatever it is. You're just trying to be a white supremacist who's trying to kick all these people out of the country. So you see how they purposefully, in my mind, have a certain group of people run the slush fund places. So then there's this whole psychological game that gets played against you if you point out the fraud. It's really crazy, my friends. And so this is how I think the Matrix works. It's all by skewing your perception to make you emotionally react in a way. And I think people are starting to wake up to that fact that it's really strong. Like you can see immediately they came in and they blocked and changed and put a they didn't even take the banner down. They just put like a stamp over it to change it to put the in learning. And then they magically got kids. So they magically just made kids appear after the next like few days, which I think is concerning. Someone made a comment and said, well, I think that's actually pretty concerning that they just could source kids out of nowhere. So there's some weird stuff happening. So it is, I think, to avail that little Joey did not ever get checked into a daycare. Poor little Joey. And then, man, so yeah, Xbox is getting cooked. Sega in 2021 and in 2001, this is probably how they felt. And then in 2025, Xbox is like, man, we're just getting cooked by PlayStation. Like the fact that like we're gonna be able to play Halo on the PlayStation now, like why would you even why would you even buy an Xbox? It's really bad. So it's not looking good, and people are feeling real nostalgic on Halo right now. I can't tell you how many videos I've been seeing of Halo 2 multiplayer coming back up and like getting thousands and thousands of views. So people are hungry for feeling feels, okay? People are hungry for feeling the feels, that they're tired of downloadable content. They're tired of streaming services. They're tired of getting microtransaction for every single freaking thing that they do. People are getting absolutely tired of it. And so this is going to be a renaissance, resurgence, resurfacing of the late 90s, early 2000s era of things. So just get ready. And it just proves that culture, history, and things repeat and are going cycles, and we're coming back into the cycle of going back 20 years. That's all. So I'm for it. Literally everyone who owns a PC that's a gaming PC from this generation and all next-gen systems, they're literally all playing games from 25 years ago. That's what's hilarious, is that all the people that have this hardware are playing games that were made 25 years ago. That's funny. Like, I bought a PSP again. I've had 3 different PSPs over the years. I bought a PSP 1000 edition, and I've just been going to town, and I love it. I've been having a blast. So, and it makes sense that the Ticker Bitcoin community is probably doing the same thing. They're going back in time. I'm actually testing out Dino Crisis right now. Dino Crisis, I don't know if you guys have ever played that, but it's like a kind of, I would say, almost has a better like movie visual experience than Resident Evil did, because Resident Evil was amazing, but Dino Crisis, I never got to play it, and it's actually really good, but it's also tough because those freaking velociraptors. I mean, I'm telling you. But look at this. Somali daycare owner, crypto investor. All people in crypto are like, I gotta start buying silver and set up a daycare. I need to buy silver and gold, set up a daycare. And I'm wondering, and I'm thinking, why is it so bad in crypto? I mean, gosh, the Somali daycare syndicate is just crushing it right now. Just crushing it. Okay, so let's get into the top story. So that was the top story. Top story happening right now, okay? But there is also, oh, where'd it go? We had Trump, I think it was Trump Media is making an investment or doing something with their stock, but they're using crypto.com. It was Trump crypto.com. Yeah, Trump Media to distribute tokens to DJT shareholders via crypto.com. So this, I'm telling you, this is why I've been still bullish crow. At the end of the show, we're going to give you guys a list of the altcoins that I've been following, and I have reasons for it. A lot of it's tied to future potential revenue that will be generated. That is how I'm investing, is like I'm trying to invest in things that I feel are probably going to generate the most revenue, and then I'm also investing in something that I think is going to be the most popular meme coin attention and the attention economy that is still at play. And that has to do with Ethereum meme coins and Solana meme coins. So this is huge. Trump Media Technology Group plans to distribute the digital tokens to DGTJT shareholders. Details on token utility, eligibility, and timing have not yet been fully disclosed, but this is huge. Yeah, Clean Living said, I literally have to pay a monthly ink subscription to use my home printer. Exactly. Isn't that so annoying? You can't even get away from you just want to just buy some freaking printer ink. And they're like, you got to pay a subscription for it. You're like, geez. Yeah, that's, it's crazy. Okay, yeah, so they're airdropping Crow token, not GGT or something. Oh, dude, yeah, this is huge. So Stratosphere is saying that the Kronos is they're actually probably going to be airdropping the Crow token. Dang. Okay, yeah. So this is so if you guys don't know, the crypto.com has had Kronos chain. So they have their own chain, but it's powered by the Crow token. The Crow token's utility is you can stake it, and when you stake a certain amount, you get bonuses inside of the app, like trading fees waived. Also, you get bonuses with the debit card, and you get access to different levels of debit cards. By the way, guys, I have a crypto.com link in the description, so if you want to support the channel directly, you can use that link, and we get free crypto if you sign up. So use that. If you haven't used crypto.com yet. And I will say, out of all the crypto cards that I've used, I think this has had the best support. When something's wrong, you can chat with a human, and also you can even get direct call support. It's powered by Metropolitan Bank. That's US based. So it's like if whatever's happened with the Visa, I mean, you'll be able to get it squared away. But I've really liked and enjoyed it. It's a great debit card. It's a really great way to just be able to make your crypto liquid, and you can just spend it and move stuff around. I've really liked crypto.com. And it's been one of the exchanges that didn't have any stupid belly up problems, go bankrupt, all that stuff. So I've always been pretty loyal to crypto.com. I'd love for them to sponsor the channel, man. That would be super cool. Just get like a mega sponsor by crypto.com. Who's got to connect? Anyone got to connect with crypto.com? I've made videos, and I've just been so bullish on them. Like, man, I'd love to be a part of the team or something, man. But yeah, this is huge. And yeah, welcome everyone. Happy New Year. Yeah, happy New Year's Eve. It's New Year's Eve, and I'm not doing nothing. My wife asked, do you want to do anything? I said, nope, I do not. Nope, our town gets crazy. It's already been crazy for Christmas in our town. Like, it's just been wild. It's been out of control. So we've had like just droves and waves of people coming in here from all over the country. So I would imagine like New Year's Eve is going to be insane. So I am just going to chill. Like, I'm just going to like order some Chinese food and like, I don't know, watch an anime or something. That's what I'm going to do. But yeah, big news right here. Crypto.com and Truth Social, lot of partnerships going on, and a lot of money flowing back and forth between Crypto.com and Truth Social and the Trump Media Group, the Trump family. A lot of buddy stuff. So I just think they probably want to make a lot of money on their Crow investment. They're not going to want it to just do a measly 2x or a 3x. They're probably going to want this thing to do a 5 to 10x. Because when Ethereum broke all-time highs or was doing good, and when the ETH BTC ratio was like in the green, Crow was doing very well. Okay, so now we'll get into a little bit of some chart analysis. Crow was doing really well when Ethereum was in that ratio was in the green. But you can see we were trading up into a channel, and look, I round tripped my Crow. I couldn't even sell it. When it pumped right up here to where it was up to 35 cents, I couldn't sell it. It was locked up. I literally had it staked. I couldn't even sell it. So now it's unstaked. I could sell it if I want to, but I'm not going to sell it. Like, I'm not going to be so paper-handed this cycle. That's the thing that I'm bringing into next year, is not to be so paper-handed and emotional with all of this stuff. You know, because basically everything that I've discovered and I've been bullish on and what I've told you guys is what my thesis and narrative is. It hasn't changed. It's actually just been strengthened, and I'm still bullish on the same stuff. It hasn't changed. But what has changed is my mindset and my perception, okay? My strength to be able to take into the next go round. So you can see here, Crow is in a really nice channel, but look, anytime we've been in a good ETH, I'll just say in the good times when ETH is looking good, we've had massive all-time highs. And look, Crow was so strong. I think Crow was one of the top performing altcoins during 2024 and 2025. You can see how many, look, it just was trading up in this really nice channel. And so we've hit the bottom of the channel now. We're at the bottom of the channel from the last pump up to the high. So if it's been doing this, going like that, then my next, I mean, I would just think that the next obvious touch up would be into the 2.618. So this is the Fibonacci level that we're looking at, is the fib. We're looking at the fib. So it touched the 1618 and it traded right back down under the 200-day moving average. So now we're going to be getting up and trying to test up to the 200-day moving average, and we could pop off the 382. That's 13 cents. We're literally at the bottom on Crow. And it's like this with a lot of altcoins. Look, Polygon, yeah, I think, we were following Caspa, but yeah, that thing, I don't know. We're not even following that anymore. That thing's in the toilet. Doge, look, Doge is in the toilet. ARB, look, oh my gosh, just crushed. AVAX crushed right at the lows. Yeah, I mean, there's so much stuff that just got cooked. SHIB is at the lows. Look, XRP basically traded way down into a channel, is right sitting at exactly on the bottom of the Fibonacci extension. There's so much that's just at these perfect buying opportunities that this is what you're looking at, you know? I mean, this is 2026 is not the time and right now to be just sitting on sidelines. It's like, you don't want to be trying to chase the highs, because that's what a lot of people did in 2025. And at the end of the year, we were chasing highs. And I think a lot of people got cooked because we ended up just buying and DCAing, and then it just never recovered. And it got worse and worse and worse. Maybe you started leverage trading too and thinking, oh, I'll go long. And every time the market just kept cooking you. And only if you were short at the top from 126, you would be like, okay. But, you know, not everyone's an expert master trader, and not everyone even has the confidence to be able to try and short the market, especially when everyone is telling you that it's going to continue to go up. It's tricky. This is why I think having more of a long-term outlook and macro view of the market will make you survive longer and maybe not chop you up and dice you up as much. So this is what we've been trying to teach on the live stream, and just almost like, this is like a radio show, guys. You know, you can listen to this like if you're listening and you're driving in your car. And shout out to the people that are watching on Kick. You know, we're trying to really push this live stream on Kick and on Twitch. Let's see. Should be on Twitch right now. Yes. So if you're watching on these platforms, make sure you say hello. Make sure you share it. We appreciate it. Oh, we need to go into night mode. Where's the night mode? All right, we gotta go dark theme, baby. But yeah, altcoins. Kuzim said, this channel is so underrated. Crypto, metals, and light social commentary. No, I would think, I appreciate it if you think it is underrated. I mean, we try and keep it interesting. I mean, I just like, I didn't want to just be a channel that's just like, oh, look at me trade. Look at me put in trades. Like, there's plenty of those channels. I wanted this to be almost kind of like, because I like the old school radio style, like Art Bell, and, you know, just like, and I listen to a lot of local political news radio in my local town and local radio stations. And I love it because they're just like talking about what's happening. They're talking about the latest news break, and they're giving their take on it. And it's their type of personality. They all have a different type of voice and radio voice. And it's cool. I've always been into that. And I wanted to bring that type of flavor to crypto. But it's also visual. You guys can be a part of the conversation. I'm chatting with you. We're breaking down charts. We're breaking down kind of just the bleeding edge culture of what's happening right now. And that's how I've wanted to operate. And I don't know if I've been, you know, I can't be the judge if I'm doing a good job or not, because if you were to ask me, I would say, you know what, I could always do better. And I'm probably a little bit more judgmental of me than you guys probably have ever been. But this is at least what I've been trying to build something like this. So you guys can have fun. You can have a place you can come and chat and hang out and be a part of the Dano Dojo crew. And we made a new logo. Let me know if you guys like it. I think it's fire. ChatGPT has been hitting, and sometimes it just will not do what you want it to do. And then out of nowhere, it'll just start to cook. ChatGPT starts to be like, yeah, let's start cooking, baby. And it'll give you what you want. And it's been giving me what I want. And honestly, kind of better than Grok in terms of the images. Like for images right now, ChatGPT is doing what I want. For breakdowns and analytical stuff, and actually giving me like if I want to have something like summarized or broken up, or if I want to ask like, hey, I am trying to can't think of other examples, but Grok does better at that. So it's different LLMs and language models are going to give you different results for whatever you're doing. So that's why you have to just kind of use different ones. I've specifically just been using ChatGPT and Grok. I probably should expand out and use other ones, but I think I probably would lose sleep because I'm already interested in it to where I could literally probably sit in front of the computer for hours and hours and vibe code for hours and hours, but I will literally not get anything else done. So that's what's been, and that's also, honestly, guys, what's been huge in the underbelly of what is cool is vibe coding. Anyone now, right now, at any time of the day on any device can vibe code something and build an app or build a website or build a company and just do it all by themselves. And it's super, super cool. I don't think the masses understand the level of how they could use this to their advantage. They've maybe just used ChatGPT to quote, you know, do the normie slop. We'll call it normie slop. Like they're using it for normie slop, but like the people that were like already on the fringes and they were doing and creating stuff, or maybe they were learning a little bit of coding. I'd say the people that were HTML coding on MySpace, oh my God, they're probably in vibe code heaven right now. They're just like, what? I could like build all this stuff, and they're probably just like losing it. And so this is huge. This is where like you could create anything you want and just try and build it. It's not just like, oh, let me just prompt it, it's gonna build it, and then I can just. You have to kind of play with it. You have to, if you've learned AI by now, you still have to prompt it. You know, you still have to prompt it. You still have to kind of like give it more. You gotta keep asking it questions. You gotta say no, adjust. Like you keep giving it information. It gets better and better and better, and that's how it ends up at the final product. And you have to run it through a bunch of stuff. Like what I do is if a code breaks or doesn't work, I go, this is the response that I got And this is, and like, how do I fix it? And it goes, oh, sorry, I didn't do this right. And then it'll shoot me a new code. Then I'll throw that into the code tester, and this something weird happened. And I go, well, this happened. And then that's how it ends up at the final code. And you're literally bugging your code right there without you knowing anything about coding. You're running the bugs. You're fixing the bugs. You're auditing the code. So that's what you can do. And like you could spend, oh my gosh, like you could just go, you can go crazy. Honestly, it's like, I don't think people realize like how like, like how deep you could go just right now. So just think 10 years down the road, like it's just our reality is going to be very interesting. But we got Dave Digital in the house. He said, yeah, except me, I'm super hard on you. Happy New Year, Dano. No, I need people like Dave Digital to come in and say, you stop complaining. You know, just like, give me the dad. Give me the hard dad. Dave Digital said, I'm out this week. Damn pinched nerve or something in my neck, shoulder. I've tried just pushing through it, but it keeps getting worse. So I just need to take a little break. Oh yeah. When you got that pinched nerve, that's wicked. The pinched nerve is not good. The pinched nerve takes you out. And a lot of the times it's like you weren't even doing anything. You weren't even doing anything cool. You were just like bending down. Yeah, you're just like, what did I even do? And you're just like, yeah, get some rest. Soak in an Epsom salt bath. Light a candle. But all right, guys. So yeah, we got to build some community. We got to build community, and I'm so happy that you guys are here. I really do appreciate it. And the less that I complain, I think the better it'll get. And that's just, you know, and it's just like life. It's like, you know, the less you complain, the less you can, you know, have like your preferences and have all these different stipulations and rules and just boxing yourself in all the time, or just like you have to have just be flexible. Have some boundaries, but also be flexible. Not have your expectations be so set in stone to where you get disappointed all the time. And I think that is like the best New Year's resolution we can have going into the rest of the years. Not just this coming year, but just have that as a baseline like way of operating. So then we can just continue to grow and work and move and get better. Because if we dwell on all this stuff or be in the past, the past takes you down. If you're saying, oh, I just wish, or what, you're just like, you already don't believe it, you know? It's like, that's the whole thing, is like, if we don't believe it, then it's never going to happen. And then if you're just in the past, then you're literally frozen in time. You're frozen in time. So let's grow and move forward and ascend. So then we can basically, like this picture, man, we're gonna burn the past. We just burn it. You know, it doesn't even exist anymore. So anything that had been bothering you, just know that it is no more, besides you playing it like a movie in your head. And man, I can't tell. And I think what held me back to some degree of this year is that I was just dwelling on so much of the past and my mistakes and things that I thought were just like such just blunders, and it froze me in place, and it made me feel gross. It made me feel guilty and shame and all these feelings, and you know, that just crush you. So let's not do that. Let's not do that. So click on this post, follow me on YouTube, follow me on Rumble, Kick, Twitch. And if you guys are here on YouTube right now, you haven't already hit the like button, please do so and share the stream. But then go and click on all of these links and follow me here as well, because we want to build up the community on these platforms as well. And we can all just kind of hang out together and it'll be super cool, because I think we're going to build one of the coolest communities and dojo crews in crypto if we just continue to show up and train and turn the lights on inside the dojo. So let's go. Now let's give you guys a quick little breakdown of the portfolio. This is what's on my list. Look, portfolio looks like crap, you know? Your portfolio probably looks like this. It was like up and it was like, oh, just crushing it. It was your portfolio was probably in the 6 figures, 5 figures, almost getting up to 6 figure. Like you were about to make $100,000. And what happened? Well, you kept continuing to be all in on crypto, and you didn't even give yourself even just like a 0.5% chance of being wrong. So we just doubled down. That's all. That's why everyone's portfolio looks like this. They were like, I'm supposed to be all in on crypto. That's my identity. I couldn't dare buy gold, silver, in the S&P 500. That's for boomers. And then this is what happened. But if you look at this as a long-term trajectory, okay, this portfolio started a few months before the run going up to December and January in 2025 of the Trump pump. So it's not even that long. So if you came back into crypto and started to invest, and then you were supposed to take profits in 4 months, that's not a long-term investment. You're a trader then. So that's why it's so obvious that people have a hard time holding through volatility in crypto, even in 3-6 month periods of time. Because look what happens. Or selling crypto, I should say, not holding, because I didn't have a problem holding. Hold everything and round trip to freaking to the ground. Sold some, but it's already too late at that point. Selling at a loss. But the point is that you have to have that macro outlook. You just have to. All right, so my main bullish, like large cap holdings: Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Crow, Avalanche, Polygon, and Dogecoin, Arbitrum. And I think that's about, like, with my large caps, that's what I've been focusing on. XYO for the mid caps. For my Solana ecosystem dexes, Orca and Radium. For Ethereum meme coins, Wojak, Pepe, ticker Bitcoin. For the meme culture as a whole, Dogecoin. Dogecoin's BTC ratio is insane. We'll get to that in a second. Brett, I'm a little on the fence about, but I still think if Pepe rips, Brett will rip. It'll carry the rest of the boys club stuff in that narrative. It's just kind of a matter of time, I guess. Whether you think it's a scam or not. Nakamoto Games, with the crypto gaming tokens as well as Medieval Empires, these two tokens I've just noticed pump the hardest when there's speculation going into alts again. When we get into an altcoin season again, which we will, I don't know exactly when it's going to happen, but it will happen. I'm not going to try and call exactly when it's going to happen, but I'm going to prepare for it instead. I'm not going to try and guess when it's going to happen, but I'm going to buy at the lows. These things pump hard. So Nakamoto Games is much more of a European kind of like Asian market platform, in South America as well. Not used very much by US users. I'll say that. I've used it. I think it's actually one of the cooler dashboards and has its own unique style. But it's got a wallet. It's got a working mobile app that you can download in the App Store and Google Play Store. I mean, it's got a lot of cool stuff going for it. It's traded on a lot of major exchanges, so that's why I'm bullish on it. I've even tried to work with them, but they're very hard to kind of connect with and communicate with. So, but I would say, hey, I'd love to work with Nakamoto Games. They're cool. But they've always pumped. Just notice that. So I have it on my list. But you guys could have different lists of things for crypto gaming or metaverse stuff. For me, it's these two tokens, Medieval Empires and Naka. And then Immutable X is the gaming infrastructure that helps power these games. And I think this thing could do really well when we start getting back into the good times. So I have that on the list. Ponky, I think, is still my favorite Solana meme coin, as well as obviously I like Bonk, those OG ones that I saw like early on. And obviously Zera is my next favorite token for the privacy stuff for that narrative on Solana. So we got Ponky, Zera, Orca, Radium, and obviously Sol. So those are all the tokens that I'm watching on the Solana ecosystem. And then for Ethereum, for layer 2 stuff, Arbitrum, Optimism, then we have the XL1 with connected with the XYO ecosystem, but this is its own chain. But then for Ethereum ecosystem stuff, XYO, I would attribute Polygon also with the quote layer 1, layer 2 aspect, Chronos, and there you go. So it's pretty simple. My portfolio, I'm keeping it really simple because I want to get more money into a small bag of things instead of like a bunch of money into a bunch of things. Like I don't want to have just like $100 in 50 coins. I want to have $3,000, $4,000 in each thing that I like. That's how you need to be thinking. How do I get thousands of dollars into what I like right now at the lows? Because this is how millionaires are made, through the good times when it gets back up and people are excited again, and your portfolio just did a 10x. And because crypto's so liquid and you should have already learned how to move your money around and have it in different places, you're going to be able to just have stable coin and all these different things on different cards, different platforms, and be able to just have money anywhere, everywhere, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That's what we are here to do and teach. It's not about the alpha is to get you to just learn crypto in a way that you are sovereign, you are self-sufficient, and you can do all this. You don't have to pay anyone to do it. You don't have to go into a stupid private group and pay $50 a month for someone to tell you these things. I'm telling you for free. Okay? There's thousands of cryptos out there. I can't tell you what to buy. I can give you the strategy, and you need to apply that strategy to your bag and narrow it down to 10, 15 coins. That's it. And double down on that. And if you need to move, adjust, you figure out how to do it better with the least amount of coins. When you have 10 coins that you can actually figure out how the price action works, and you can do the into stables, or then go into this or go into that, then you can do that. But if you've got 50 things that you're trying to focus on, good luck. So this is how I think the strategy for dollar cost averaging will work. Honestly, no matter what you're getting into. Because then it's all about you just understanding the price action and the price volume of and the trends of what's happening in your specific coins. It's like I've been following ticker Bitcoin for a long time now. I understand the price and I understand how it's working. I've been following the Crow price for a long time. I've been following these prices for a long time now, so I understand how they work. And so instead of listening to the narrative or price bad or good, I just look at the chart and I just go, oh, okay, it's at pretty much the lows. If I dollar cost average anywhere in these areas and just be patient, I'm not guaranteed gains, but I mean, I have a higher probability chance than just sitting on the sidelines and doing nothing. So we're going to get back up to the value. Well, we will get back up to this value. You know, whatever your portfolio is, you know, it'll get back up there. You just gotta give it time. And I think the you know, what was the comment? Someone, let me read the comment. Sleet said, bingo. When I said about gambling and people are just so focused on other things right now, sports betting, prediction markets, he said, bingo. Overall crypto views and interest are way down right now as crypto sentiment is in the toilet. You know, crypto apparently isn't cool anymore. You're looked at as like a pariah. Like someone like the lepers or something in the Bible. Like we're like looked at like we have a disease. So I get it. But I think if we tune in, just like this profile picture here, or this thumbnail, we are the last standing crypto bulls. And so we have to continue to survive and thrive. Not just survive, but thrive, because surviving means you're struggling, you're just like, oh, no, we want to like thrive. We want to be calculated, cool, not crying, not complaining, not acting emotionally and being like, oh, I'm just going to blah, blah, blah. It's just like, no. We're going to act with intent, with intention, and we're going to get through this, guys, and we're going to do it together. We're going to do it together. Okay, so let's Poly Market. Will anyone be charged over the daycare fraud in Minnesota? There is a 91% chance right now that by December 31st, which is today, that someone will be charged. Will anyone be charged by this date? So I wonder. Yeah, exactly. Laser said, I don't care if crypto is in the toilet. We are the future. Try to stop us. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and see, look, will any Minnesota politician be charged with fraud by March 31st? There's like a 15% chance. It's just crazy, guys. Like just to think that like these people get to still just kind of like do their thing, post on social media. And it's like, I get it. Like, you know, not innocent until proven guilty by a judge and peers and federal court and all that stuff. But I mean, the money trail and the obvious like connections with this dude, Tim Waltz, is now just pretty apparent. And even without even like a full federal investigation, like it's just been almost independent journalism and investigations that have tied a lot of this stuff to Tim Waltz. So how is it that if independent sources and people have been able to figure this out, but the FBI and CIA or whoever, intelligence agencies and people who are actually tracking this stuff down on a daily basis, that is supposed to be their job, they don't have enough data to just literally like cuff these dudes? It's crazy. They should immediately be thrown out of power. They like, if I was a person in Minnesota, I'd be storming that dude's we should be like in the streets. In the streets, these people should be like literally just, yeah. They, like, I don't see how people aren't in the streets, like, you know, being like, where's our tax money? Crazy. Yeah. Probably. And what's sad is I don't think anyone's going to get in trouble. Probably not the people that we'd want. Probably not the way that we'd want it. It's always when we see something like that, we're just like, really? How are they able to get away with it? Pretty wild. All right. I want to remind you guys that I am finally a Sproto owner. So if you're not taking part of the culture in NFTs right now, NFTs are also at the lowest of the lows. But I want to remind you guys that Beeple, the most famous digital artist and artist that is being watched right now by world artists who sell millions of dollars and millions of dollars of art in mixed media form, which means everything, digital, physical, paint, whatever, you know, sculpture. Beeple does a combination of all of that in one, okay, which makes him the most popular, underrated, and rated artist in the world right now. His favorite NFT project is the Sproto Gremlins. He memes it all the time, and his favorite meme and ticker is the ticker Bitcoin, if you haven't noticed. So I'm following the culture, I'm following the money trail, I'm following the paper trail, I'm following the culture trail. And so this is why I'm putting my money, and I put my money where my mouth is, and I bought Sproto. I'm going to buy 2 more, and there's actually a lot of cool Sprotos for sale right now. And NFTs are another example of scarcity. Art, a lot of the times, is 1 for 1. It's just what you get. That's it. When you buy someone's painting or you buy someone's piece, that's it. And then when it sells to the next person, a floor is established, which is the price that it's sold for. This is the same with NFTs. And when NFTs are minted, it's a certain amount of the collection. There's only 3,333 Sprotos. They're scarce. That means there's only 3,333 people in the world that can hold and own a Sproto. So when a floor is established of what the value is for these things, which was at 4 ETH at one point, do you see how we can build our own economic value and scarcity in something like this? It's the same with crypto. It's the same with NFTs. It's the same with meme coins. It's the same with Bitcoin. It's 21 million Bitcoin. It's scarce. You can only have that many Bitcoin and mine that many Bitcoin, and that's it. Can't create any more. So what's happening with silver is also a supply and demand mechanism kicking in. The demand for silver on what they can actually mine and what is required is not meeting up to what the demand is. So the supply cannot meet the demand. Price is going to go up. So this if we can just acquire the things that are going to have perceived scarcity, real scarcity, and cultural scarcity in a way, this is how we're going to make money. I really think this is how we're going to do it. And so this supply and demand and scarcity mechanism is everywhere, and we just have to find it. So yeah, that's how I'm doing. So everything that I showed you in my portfolio, like with these coins, the Sproto Gremlins, and honestly, I'll show you another way that I'm kind of hedging against myself this time in my breakdown and for my portfolio for going into this year is I'll show you this picture. I started to contribute to a Roth IRA in Robinhood that will match it. So match all my investments, and this is the first. So I built up a small portfolio that has combined AI robotic tech, which I'm basically just buying Tesla, gold and silver ETF mining trusts. Circle is who mints USDC, which is the second largest stablecoin in volume, in trading volume. STRK is a preferred stock that is offered by MicroStrategy or by Strategy, which is now a Bitcoin collateral debt company. GLD, Gold's in SLV, Gold's and Silver's Trust ETFs, and then MSTR itself. This is all going to be DCA'd into as well as crypto. I'm going to frequency this at basically around this. Like I have $20 on a frequency to split into these over the next few years. And this is what we need to be doing, my friends. We just need to be investing. We need to be investing, and we need to be like, I mean, if you're just sitting on the sidelines with your dollars, like they're going to print more money. Look. Watch this video again.
Simply flooded the system with money.
Yes, we did. That's another way to think about it. We did.
Where does it come from? Do you just print it?
We print it digitally. So we as a central bank, we have the ability to create money digitally. And we do that by buying treasury bills or bonds or other government guaranteed securities. And that actually increases the money supply. We also print actual currency, and we distribute that through the Federal Reserve Bank.
They're just gonna simply flood the system with money again. That's what they do. So how are we going to extract value out of that? Well, we need to accumulate the scarce commodities and assets, which is gold, silver, crypto, and the stocks that are tied to the equity and the revenue of those things that America is trying to lobby and put through legislation, which through the Genius Act and the Clarity Act is happening. This is all we need to know. They're just going to flood the system with money, okay? Which makes your time and effort and your energy that you put into your work, it gets devalued overnight. Like it's almost like when they injected 60% of the money supply in 2020, that was it. They literally burned the value of all of your hard-earned work for years and years. But they're letting it fail on purpose, Kuzim. This is my ultimate theory. So my ultimate theory is that they're purposefully killing the dollar to issue in a new money system. We are $39 trillion in debt. We have no surplus. Our GDP is like the worst it's been, and we have no one, and jobs are terrible. So we're gonna reset the system by devaluing the dollar. People get pushed into buying, quote, gold and silver. Then we literally sell gold and silver or gold contracts, buy Bitcoin. Bitcoin goes to $1 million. We rebase the US dollar debt system and literally start it from freaking scratch. That's what they're doing. I think this is what the whole plan is. This is why it's gonna be very, very volatile. And this is why we're feeling the unravelings right now. That's just my best guess. My best guess is that they are going to they're rebasing and revaluing the dollar way back down into the lows here, to the lows, and then they're going to set up the Bitcoin standard. It has to go through legislation, but I mean, here's the thing. We see obviously that our money is not being custodianed properly, and it needs to go on the blockchain. There's massive fraud happening. Everything that has to do with government finances should be audited, and there shouldn't be any question that our money is being spent or sent in the right places. It's BS. So I think what Cynthia Lummis is trying to do, and what some of these politicians are trying to do, is make it to where government spending should be on the blockchain. And the way that you do that is you put it on Ethereum and Bitcoin. Bam. Then you have the biggest network effects ever. The United States becomes the default country to watch and how we innovate the new money system. everyone adopts it, and fiat currencies and printed currencies go to zero. And everyone gets on a stablecoin standard and a Bitcoin and a digital currency standard that is also then powered by gold and silver and digital assets. It's literally going to be a precious metal crypto economy. Because there's nothing else in the world that is going to have the type of scarcity. So this is how I think the new money system is going to be ushered in, and it's like happening right before our eyes, and we just got to make money off of it, honestly. We're just going to have to be along for the ride. We don't have the crystal ball, but we know that if we just sit on the sidelines, that is way more of a risk than not doing anything at all. Or sorry, if not doing anything is more of a risk than investing, or at least taking a shot. But all right, my friends, thanks for tuning in today. So if you want to support the channel, make sure you guys go to the description here. And we have, we've always had this, but I don't think anyone ever realized that we had it. We have a donation addresses that you guys can donate to right here. So we got the Solana address, our BTC address, we got Cash App, the Venmo, PayPal. If you want to keep the lights on and have us continue to come and live stream, you can just directly support us by donating to those addresses right there. We really appreciate it. And just make sure you share the live stream. We go live at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday. And hope you guys enjoyed the live stream today. And just keep cool, calm, and collected. I hope you guys have a good New Year's Eve. Stay safe. If you're going out, keep sharp. And watch your 6, watch your 12, and watch everything. You should know what I'm talking about. So, yeah, I really just, again, thank you guys. Maybe should we live stream later? Should we live stream later for a New Year's Eve party? Because I'm not going to any New Year's Eve parties, so maybe we can just have a streaming one. But yeah, if not, if I don't see you guys again, I will see you next year. And thank you for being a part of the Dano Dojo crew. Ciao.